Hey folks, Tim here from Rockout Videography again. You've seen it here on the channel multiple times, but today we're finally going to give it a review. We're going to briefly discuss the company behind this pedal, talk about the roots of its design, demo it, and explain why, if you are a bass player, this isn't just a pedal you might want to have. It might be the only pedal you really need. Stick around, it's a JHS Pulp N Peel review. Unless you've been living under a rock, you probably know about the JHS pedal company, but for those of you who don't, here's a short version. JHS is owned and run by Josh Scott, who started out modding Boss pedals. The company's grown over the years to the point that they have become a huge influence in the pedal world. They have an amazing YouTube channel, and if you're not watching it, you should be. It's very educational and entertaining. The Pulp N Peel is based on the Dan Armstrong orange squeezer from the 1970s, which is a FET-type compressor that was used extensively on many Steely Dan records. It was designed to plug directly into a guitar. FET stands for field effect transistors and uses transistor circuits to emulate the sound of tubes. The most famous example of a FET compressor would be the 1176 compressor, which you've been hearing on albums for all or most of your life. The Pulp N Peel also has a modded Proco Rat distortion circuit that can be switched on or off. The Proco Rat is one of the earliest distortion pedals to be widely marketed and was first produced in the late 1970s. This is another pedal you've been hearing on records most or all of your life. There's also a small preamp built into it at the end of the signal chain and a tilt EQ. Let's take a look at this pedal and its features and compare it to my pedal board. Excluding the tuner, my effects are a compressor, an EQ, and a preamp with a balanced XLR out so it can be used as a DI box. So what does the Pulp N Peel bring to the bass pedal experience? Can it really replace a pedal board and be the only bass pedal you really need? Let's see. The Pulp N Peel comes in a brown cardboard box like all JHS pedals. It's packed in red paper shreddings and includes a pick button and 4 small rubber feet you can stick on the bottom if you want. You have to buy your own power supply. Sophia insisted on keeping the button and the pick. On the front, you have 4 knobs and a switch. The compressor knob allows you to dial in the amount of compression. The ratio, attack, and release are all preset. What are those settings? I couldn't find any information on this during my research, but whatever they are, they sound good and work well. There's always a small amount of compression, even when set to 0. The blend knob is what makes this parallel compression. As you turn the knob up, it blends more of the compressed signal into your dry signal. Turn it down and you get less. So the Pulp N Peel has a compressor. Check. The EQ knob controls a tilt EQ. What's unusual about a tilt EQ is that as you turn the knob to the right, you'll get more treble, but it also reduces the bass. Conversely, if you turn the knob to the left counterclockwise, you get more bass, but it lowers the treble. This is going to give you a different effect than just having bass and treble knobs that only affect highs or lows. So the Pulp N Peel has an EQ. Check. The volume knob controls a preamp's volume output. So why is having a preamp good? According to my research, a preamp helps to attenuate the signal. Supposedly, you can also get less signal to noise ratio by raising the preamp's output and lowering the volume of your bass amp. You can also increase gain going into the amp, which may give you a more desirable tone. Let us know in the comments if you have additional info on this topic. So, the Pulp N Peel has a preamp. Check. The dirt switch is a mini toggle type and turns the modded Rat distortion circuit on or off. You move the switch up away from the word dirt to do this. It seems kind of counterintuitive to me, and I wish they would have labeled it the other way around. Either way, it sounds great on bass, and it's adjustable with a knob on the side. Distortion is something I don't have on my pedal board unless I put my Rat pedal in the chain. On the front, there's a green light to tell you when the pedal's on. The foot switch is a momentary soft click switch, not a positive click switch. On the right side, you have the 1/4 inch instrument input and a recessed knob that controls the Rat circuit's dirt level. You need a small screwdriver or something similar to turn it. This is a version 4.5 pedal, so there's no longer a buffer bypass switch like the version 4, so the buffer is always on. On the left side, you have the 1/4 inch instrument output and a balanced XLR output. There's also a ground lift switch, so you can disable the ground and eliminate hum if you're dealing with a ground loop when connecting to a board or recording gear. This makes it an effective DI box. On the top, you have a standard 9-volt center negative power input that requires 32 milliamps of power, which is well below what any pedal power supply you have will output, so no problem finding a power supply, which is not included. On the back, there's plenty of room for Velcro so you can attach it to your board. There are 4 Phillips type screws so you can access the inside. Inside the pedal, you can see, well, I have no idea. I stripped out the second screw I tried to remove. The first one I tried barely broke free before it stripped, so I wasn't able to look inside. There's a 4-year warranty on this pedal, so if there are any issues, I can send it back. I'm not a pedal repairman anyway. I just like taking these things apart so I can show you folks the quality of construction. I'm not worried about quality with JHS products. Hey Josh, maybe you guys don't need to torque the screws down so hard. Just an idea. Okay, let me demo the pedal for you so you can hear what it sounds like. All right, let me show you what this sounds like. We're going to be using the 62 reissue P-Bass with flat wound strings. I'm going into a tuner, but then it's just a Pulp N Peel. From there, we're going into Fender Rumble 30. All right, so here we go. Here's what it sounds like with the pedal off. Right? Okay. So I have everything set just straight at noon. Let's turn the pedal on. And here's what it sounds like, just everything set at noon. Oh, except for the volume. I did equalize the volume output of the preamp so it would be roughly equal volume whether the pedal was on or off. So let's turn the compression up to about 3/4 of the way. You can really hear it kicking in there. So let's add some more blend to that. All right. Let's turn the compression down back to noon with the blend up. I like the way that sounds. That's pretty good. All right, so let's set everything back to noon again, and let's play with the EQ. So it was a little bit below noon, but as we turn it up, you can hear that the treble is going up as the bass is going down, right? That's your tilt EQ for you. Now you can really hear that. Hear those lows? All right, let's put that right at noon. Let's turn the compression up a little bit and the blend up. A little bit more EQ, a little bit less actually. All right, now the dirt circuit, right? So this is the Proco rat. It's a modded, according to JHS, a modded Proco rat. And I have the dirt just torqued all the way up. So this is what you get when you flip the dirt switch on. That's a lot of dirt. I like that. You could lower it. I'm not going to demo that because the one thing about this, it's good and bad. It's good that you're not accidentally going to screw with your dirt setting by some knob getting turned, but you have to have something to get in there to change it. So most of the time you're going to figure out what you like and then you're just going to leave it there. For me, if I'm going to go dirt, if I'm going fuzz type bass, let's just go all the way, right? I really like that. Turn the EQ up on that. Let's flip that off. So, as the only pedal you need, right? It's got the compressor. The compressor sounds good. You can play with your output of your preamp. You've got a usable EQ. I think overall, yeah, this pedal is really doing a lot of cool stuff. And I think that if you were starting out wanting to explore pedals for bass, this is probably a pretty good place to start. So here's my final thoughts on this pedal. Is it really the only bass pedal you need? I think for most people, it probably is. Does it do everything the pedals on my pedal board do? Yeah, but not precisely. I think the compressor works just as well, but doesn't allow as much adjustment as the Keeley bassist because you can't adjust the ratio or the threshold. The EQ is very usable, but will not allow you to raise or lower specific frequencies like the Behringer EQ pedal. The preamp sounds good, but doesn't have the controls that the world-famous Sans Amp bass driver does. The Pulp N Peel also is a very usable DI box. However, keep in mind that the 3 pedals on my board would cost about $480. A Pulp N Peel usually goes for around $230 and has the addition of the Rat circuit. A Proco Rat will cost you new about $80, so you could say you're getting around $560 worth of pedal here. $230 may be a lot of money for some people's budgets, but what you get for that money is, in my humble opinion, a lot of value. Okay, folks, it's time for
the Featured YouTube Artist of the Week! Yay!
This week's featured artist is Brandon Santini. Brandon is originally from North Carolina and started playing harmonica when he was only 15 years old. You know how you're walking down the street thinking about Blues Traveler and the Paul Butterfield Blues Band, and you hear some killer harmonica riffs coming from the pub you happen to be walking by, and when you go inside you see some crazy cat with his band playing amazing blues harmonica songs, so you stay all night drinking 3-quart bourbon and having a great time? Well, that's the vibe I get from Brandon. Go to his YouTube channel, like and subscribe, and leave him some comments. Brandon is doing well, but he should have a lot more subscribers. Leave us a comment and tell us what you think about the Pulp N Peel on bass. What's your favorite pedal on bass guitar? As always, we appreciate all of you who've been supporting the channel by subscribing and interacting with us in the comment section. Until next time, have a great day.